Your packaging team are talking to the wrong people. Not because they're lazy, not because they're bad at their job, because you've got them chasing buyers when they should be building relationships with actual problem solvers. And there's a massive difference. Right now in 2026, while your competitors are sending generic capability decks to purchasing departments and wondering why nothing closes, a small group of packaging companies are using AI to do something completely different. They're not using it as a shortcut to spam people. They're using it to find the exact people who are losing sleep over a specific problem that their packaging solves. And then they're starting conversations that buyers never see coming. I'm David Marinak, 35 years in packaging business, and today I'm going to show you why selling all things to all people is actually killing your growth in the packaging space, and how focusing on one problem-solving packaging niche is finding the right people changes everything. Let me explain something that most packaging companies get backwards. When your rep calls a buyer, a purchasing manager, procurement coordinator, here's what that person cares about: price, delivery, whether you're on the approved vendor list. That's it. They're not talking about innovation. They're not thinking about solving problems. They're not thinking about how your specialized packaging could transform their operation. That's not their job. They're thinking about checking a box and moving on to the next thing on their list. You're a commodity to them. Now, let me tell you about a completely different person in that same company. A problem solver. This is the operations manager or plant manager who's dealing with product damage in transit. A brand manager who's watching competitors win shelf space because their packaging pops and yours doesn't. A supply chain director who's losing money on returns because your current packaging solution isn't protecting the product. The R&D lead who's trying to launch a new product and needs packaging that doesn't exist yet. These people feel actual pain. They're not checking boxes. They're not comparing quotes. They're looking for somebody who actually understands their problem and can solve it. And here's the thing. They're not hard to find. You just have to know where to look and what to say. This is where most packaging companies go wrong. They try to be everything to everybody. We do flexible film, corrugated, labels, contract packaging, kitting, fulfillment. Stop. The companies that are actually growing right now, they've picked one problem niche, not a product category, not an industry, a problem. A specific, painful, expensive problem that a specific type of company is dealing with right now. And you can find them. Let me give you an example. Instead of we sell flexible film to food companies, we solve the frozen food packaging failure problem that's costing brands millions in product loss and retailer chargebacks. That's not a product. That's a problem-solving niche. And the second you define it that way, everything changes. Because now you're not looking for buyers. You're looking for people who are bleeding from that specific problem. Let me be crystal clear about something. I'm not talking about using AI to blast more emails to more people. I'm not talking about scraping LinkedIn and spamming everyone with a title. That's garbage, and it doesn't work. What I'm talking about is using AI as a precision tool to find the exact people who are most likely dealing with a specific problem you can solve. Here's how this actually works. Let's say you're a contract packager specializing in nutraceutical kitting and compliance. Traditional approach, call every nutraceutical company you can and ask for the buyer. AI problem-solving approach, use AI to identify every nutraceutical company in America that's launching new SKUs, which means they need kitting and fulfillment. Dealing with FDA compliance issues, which means they need a partner who actually understands regulations. Expanding into retail, which means they need packaging that meets big box requirements. Then you use AI to map the problem solvers at those companies, not the purchasing department. The VP of operations who's responsible for getting products out the door. The compliance director who's on the hook if something goes wrong. The brand manager who's launching a new line and needs it done right away. These are the people who feel the pain, and AI can find them with precision that was impossible 5 years ago. Now, here's where this gets really powerful. When you reach out to a problem solver, not a buyer, with a message that speaks directly to the specific problem they're dealing with, you're not selling. You're starting a conversation about something they actually care about. Let me show you the difference. Traditional packaging sales email, "Hi, we're a contract packaging company with 20 years of experience. We offer kitting, fulfillment, compliance services. Can we schedule a call to discuss your needs?" Delete. Problem-solving approach. "Hi, insert your name. I noticed, insert your company. Just announced 3 new SKU launches for Q2. Based on what I'm seeing in the nutraceutical space right now, the companies launching at that pace are running into the same bottleneck. Retail compliance requirements that their current co-packer isn't set up to handle. We've solved this exact issue for very similar company. Would it make sense to have a 15-minute conversation?" Now that gets a response. And it doesn't get deleted. Not because you're selling better, because you're demonstrating you understand their world and you might have a solution to a problem that's keeping them up at night. Here's what happens when you stop chasing buyers and start building relationships with problem solvers. The conversation changes completely. A buyer is transactional. They want a quote. They want to compare. They want to check a box. The problem solver wants a partner, someone who understands their challenges, someone who can help them think through solutions, someone who makes their job easier and makes them look good to their boss. And when you become that person to a problem solver, you don't compete on price anymore. You don't compete on delivery times. You don't compete at all. Because when that problem solver needs packaging for this product, the next project, the project after that, you're the call they make. Not because you sent them the cheapest quote, because you solved their problem and made their life easier. Let me show you what this looks like over time. Month 1. You identify 50 companies in your problem-solving niche that are actually dealing with problems you solve. You reach out to the problem solvers, not the buyer. You start 10 conversations. Month 3. 3 of those conversations turn into projects. Not huge, but real. And more importantly, you built relationships with problem solvers who now see you as a trusted resource. Month 6, those 3 problem solvers refer you to colleagues. They bring you in on new projects. They call you first when something comes up. Your pipeline is growing without cold outreach. Month 12, you become the go-to expert in a problem-solving niche. Problem solvers are finding you through AI search because you publish content about solving their exact problem. Your competitors are still sending capability decks to purchasing departments. That's the compounding effect. Not from selling harder, from solving problems for the right people. Let me address the fear I know some of you are feeling right now. If I focus on one problem-solving niche, aren't I leaving money on the table? Absolutely not. You're leaving distraction on the table. Here's what happens when you try to sell all things to all people. Your message is generic. Your outreach is scattered. Your sales team is chasing everything and closing nothing. You're competing with everyone. You're the expert at nothing. You're invisible. Here's what happens when you own one problem-solving niche. Your message is specific. Your outreach is targeted. Your sales team is talking to people who actually care. You're competing with no one because you're the only one solving this specific problem as well. You're the obvious choice. And here's the part that really matters. When you own the niche, when you become the expert at solving one specific problem, you expand from a position of strength. The problem solvers you've built relationships with, they have other problems. They work at other companies. They know other people at their very company. Your niche becomes your launching pad, not your limitation. So here's the choice in front of you right now. You keep doing what everyone else is doing, sending capability decks to buyers, competing on price, chasing transactions, hoping something closes. Or you can do something completely different. You can pick one problem-solving niche. Use AI to find the exact people who are dealing with that problem right now. Start conversations that matter with people who actually care. Build relationships instead of chasing transactions. And become the go-to expert that problem solvers call first. The packaging companies that figure this out in the next 90 days aren't just going to grow faster than their competitors. They're going to make their competitors irrelevant. Because while everyone else is still trying to sell all things to all people, you'll own the one thing that matters most. If you're a packaging manufacturer, contract packager, or distributor ready to stop chasing buyers and start solving problems for people who actually care, drop a comment or connect with me directly. I'll show you exactly how to identify a problem-solving niche, find the right people with AI precision, and build the relationships that turn into recurring revenue. The window is open right now. The only question is whether you claim it first. Let me know how we can help. If you like the video, please like it, and please subscribe and share with anybody you think it'll help. Thanks.